What's going on, everybody? It's Joe from the Acceptable Casualties here to take a look at the Stalingrad Nail Factory by Novus Design Studio. So this is another piece of terrain that I ended up picking up from them when I'm getting my Stalingrad table together. And like I said, this is actually like a really cool little piece. So Robert was saying when he was talking about this was actually partly inspired by historical, the nail factory that they had there, as well as some little detail pieces, like you guys can kind of see the sandbags around the windows and things like that in here. It was also kind of inspired by the Stalingrad World War II movie, which if you haven't seen and I haven't seen yet, apparently everybody and their mother says you need to watch it. It's totally worth picking up if you're looking for like a really action-oriented World War II flick on the Eastern Front. It's almost like the Godfather of Eastern Front World War II movies. So I'm gonna have to check it out. I've heard everybody talk about it, and like I said, this building right here, it has some inspiration from that. So as you guys can see for the nail factory right here, I guess he said that this right here actually says like nail factory in the signage up top. I don't speak Russian, so I can't confirm that, but I'm going to take his word for it because he seems like a pretty honest guy. But as you go through here, like I said, there's sandbag details around all the windows to kind of show that it's a really solid defensive position going through here. Along the windows here, you kind of got like some planked up areas. Really good, like just cool spots here for wargaming purposes. A lot of nooks and crannies. Like I said, you got a big area here you can drive vehicles through, as well as some more defensive positions up top. And like I said, it's like that all the way around, like a little, like I think it's like a little furnace or kind of set up over here. So this is what you got here as far as the exterior looks. A lot of options over here. You got some craters in there as well if you want to shoot from first floor to second floor. Right here, like I said, the floors do come out. So here's the details on the second floor right there. There's a nice hole to kind of look down at the bottom so you want to do some first floor to second floor shooting, as well as like some little details like some wood planks and things like that. Over here, this section of wall pulls out easily. There's nowhere to grab it through the windows or anything, so you do grab it by the wall on this side. So just make note of that if you're messing with it, so you don't like do anything crazy and try to rip it out of there. So this is what you're looking at here, some steps that would feed up into this one over here on that floor. Looking down into it, like I said, a lot of open space, but there's also a lot of detail in there as far as rubble and everything goes. As you guys can see, the way the light's kind of breaking it up. It's perfect for standing infantry in there. Like, it's flat enough to do that, but it's also detailed enough to where you can go through and just dry brush this and really make the interior pop and have it feel like this building's been blown out. Like I said, lots of places in here for some good infantry style wargaming, setting up shop and kind of holding down an area and fortifying it. Like I said, it's a cool little piece of terrain. I'll put some stuff in here right now so you guys kind of get a look. So this is the building itself. So there's your 15 mil model. So it's a pretty good sized footprint. Even putting guys in windows and things like that. You got some guys sitting down with some machine guns and rifles for those squatted guys that work really good as well in there. So like that's the infantry. This would be like a half track pulled up there. So like I said, I mean, you got a really nice footprint here as far as what you can take up on the tabletop. This is looking like, yeah, it's about 10 inches from coast to coast on this side, and you're looking at about 8.5, 9 inches going that way. So like I said, it's a nice piece of terrain, 2 floors. The floors come out really easily, lots of detail, especially if you guys are like doing a lot of painting. This one, out of all the pieces I've seen so far, this one has a lot of the cool little details to kind of pick out. Other ones you got the trains and stuff like that, some of the bigger pieces. But like I said, this one between like the sandbags, like the cool sign, a lot of like the wood planks that you get, like some down here, the furnace, the brick. Like there's a lot of cool different textures in here that you can really kind of put a lot of work into and really make this one pop. Wherever you put it down on the table. And like I said, I'll mention it before. I've mentioned it for all of the stuff, but just in case this is the first video you've seen from this series of terrain. For these, they are resin, so you're gonna have to get the mold release off of this before you start to paint it. So like I said, if you pick it up, you're gonna need to wash it down with like a toothbrush, warm to hot water. If you want to add a little bit of soap, go ahead. It's not gonna do anything to the model. Go in there, really be thorough with kind of wiping the mold release off, because if you don't do it and you hit it with that primer, your primer is literally just going to run off and pool up down at the bottom. It will not stick to the model. So be aware of that when you guys do that go through there. Like I said, just be thorough with letting it clean. You have to let it sit for 24 hours so all the moisture can kind of get out of the resin or anything that's sitting on there. Once that happens, boom, you hit it with your primer and then it'll stick and you'll be able to throw some paint on there and you'll be good as gold. Robert was saying try to use a better primer. So if you can use like don't don't go with like Krylon or anything like that. You know, it'll work, but you know, if you can get maybe some Army painter, like Army Painter primer, or maybe even if like you can go like that Citadel like black, like probably some of the higher end ones might be better to do on here, so you don't lose some of the finer details in here if you happen to go a little bit heavier with the spray. So just, you know, just a little tip to pass on to you guys, something to keep an eye out for. But like I said, this is the Stalingrad Nail Factory. Go check it out. It's going to fall between that $30 and $40 range for a terrain piece. But like I said, for the size of the terrain piece that you're getting here and the detail that goes into it, like I said, it's definitely worth it. So go check it out, Novus Design Studio. I'll put the link down in the bottom, and I'll catch you guys later.